Hey guys, how's your week been? Yeah! So I take my favorite clips from the week and put them in a video. So for the guys, do you remember going through puberty and your voice is starting to break? Constantly sounding like a plucked mouse straight into, hey, how are you doing? I mean, it was a time where I thought I'd turn into Morgan Freeman. But instead I got this. And that leads us straight into a 14-year-old where his voice is starting to get deeper.
Hello, my name is Jake. I am 14 years old. I'm trying to become a voice actor, and this is my movie trailer guy impression. In a world where the Earth was no longer in our control.
This proves that life just isn't fair. He could walk into a nightclub and when he gets ID'd by the bouncer, he could say, "This is all the proof you'll ever need." On match days in school, to get the team amped up, the captain would introduce him to give a speech like Optimus Prime. They'll be motivated to save the world, let alone win the game. Unless when he gets into the team, he says to the captain, "Step aside, little boy. I'm the captain now." God, I sound so shit. I think we can all say we've had at least one bad haircut. You know, when you're stuck in front of a mirror and it just doesn't seem to do what you want it to do. It's the most frustrating thing ever. Before this next guy, all hope is lost. No amount of American Crew magic can save this atrocity.
Cut your hair, bruh.
Yo.
Did you send it to me?
Well, at least he can see the funny side of it. They do say to leave it a couple weeks to see how bad it really is. Or in your case, a couple months. With this haircut, I'd be locking myself in my bedroom till Christmas. I just couldn't bear the thought that my haircut would be worse than Adolf Hitler's.
Let me get that half a pistachio shell.
Half a pistachio. Damn, this shit looks more like a pistachio that's been beaten by a hammer. Did this guy walk into the barber saying, "Dude, I keep catching my hair in my scarf." "Don't worry, dude. I got you." Boom. Sometimes when I drive, I go into this daze of daydreaming. And when I turn up to where I need to be, I'm like, shit, how'd I get here? And I'm guessing or hoping that's what happened to this next driver. We could all see it coming, and oh, was it satisfying. From the sound of it to the way it cleanly cuts along the top of the van. Now, I'm guessing this happens a lot, because there's a whole website dedicated to this bridge. There's a comment saying, "The bridge must be hoarding for the winter with all these crashes." I feel like I've stumbled across a weird community of people, because another person said, "The bridge has been fed well these past few weeks." Love the name, but guys, this bridge isn't alive. It's not some demon trying to harvest the souls of these trucks. If anything, it's probably pissed off that drivers can't read the fucking sign. It's time for a little story about my friend. For this, let's call him Mike. Now, Mike has been going to the same hairdressers for ages. Every time he comes out with his garbage haircut. But he's a loyal man, so he kept going back. One day, the business changed hands, and this was his opportunity. He went online and found himself a quality barber. It was a bit pricey, but worth it. So he went, and the grand unveiling of this haircut would be later on that day in a five-a-side game. Not gonna lie, this dude came running over like Andrew Garfield from Spider-Man. Upgraded from some Grinch shit into Chris Hemsworth. Just without the chiseled chin. And the body. So the game was starting. I wasn't really feeling it because it was cold and I don't do cold. Then our captain came over and he does a brilliant impersonation of Liam Neeson. It always fires us up because when Liam Neeson tells you to do something, you do it. So now this haircut weirdly boosted the ego of Mike. Dickhead was running around like Ronaldo. Proper posing like he runs and then goes. Maybe not that part. But honestly, it looked more like Jonah Hill doing yoga. Towards the end of the game, it was close. It was 2-2. Now, Mike, still pumped up from the speech, called for the ball. And he ran straight into the box. Or D thing. Problem was, poor little Mike went with the ball straight into the net. As he fell into it, the net broke off and wrapped around his head. We tried for ages to get this off. And he was like, "Oh, be careful, you ripped my hair out." Then the captain walked over and said to him, "It was better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all." No idea how this really fitted in, but I thought the whole situation was hilarious. Weirdly, this little speech allowed Mike to accept his fate. He was like, "I hear you, Cap. Just do it." We all ripped the net off and Mike screamed. We all ripped the net off and Mike screamed. The top of his head had no hair. It looked like a landing strip. He said to me, "Brad, how is it?" I simply replied, "This is flight number 123, permission to land." Depressed and demoralized, he said, "What do I do?" Oh, Mikey, you know what they say, give it a couple weeks, you never know. Maybe it'll suit you. All the links to videos shown are down in the description. Thank you for watching and bye!